Okay, so this is a battle for my son and I. My son's going to play as Borg. He's got a Borg tactical cube, and I've got a Klingon, the Jitang, and a Klingon bird of prey. So we took 75 points each against this enemy here. It's the Nora-class station with Michael Eddington on it, so we're pretending like Maquis are on it. And they have got 12 troops. So we're using the, what do you call it, the rules from the Siege of AR 553 or something like that, where we have to beam troops over to take over the station if we're going to take it over. And yeah, that's kind of what we're going to try to do. The station has 12 of these orbital weapon platforms there from the Dominion War campaign. They have a range of 3, that's how we're going to play them. They just use the stats that are on the thing there. So they have 4 attack dice, they don't take any actions, they have 2 hull, 6 shields, and they have a skill of 6. Whatever Michael Eddington's is, and you can see Michael Eddington's got a skill of 6, so they have a skill of 6. And I'll put the 3 mission tokens, he'll use his card text, of course. And the station will always take a battle stations every turn. And so he's got that station protected by these 12 orbital weapon platforms with a range of 3, not limiting them to 2. So they have a range of 3 and skill of 6. 12 troops. Now for me, I've got 12 Klingon tokens here to beam over. Kind of look like Klingons. Anyway, 6 on each ship. My shields have to be down and the station shields have to be down for me to beam over troops. I have the Jitang with the Klingon flagship Martok and Drex. And I think that is 32 and 9 is 32 and 9 is 41. And then is that right? 32 and 9. Yeah, it's 41. And then 34. Yeah, I think that's 75. And so on the other ship I have got Koloth with a prototype cloaking device, just on a Klingon bird of prey with Buka on it. Now these orbital weapon platforms, they use the same rules where they fire at the closest ship. So I put Koloth on that prototype ship, and I'm hoping that he'll be okay. He's going to be my lead ship. We'll see how long it lasts. We have to take out some orbital weapon platforms here before we can attack. Now my son has the Tactical Cube 138, and his 75 points, he took the independent flagship with the, what do you call it? The evades, who gets a free evades, go try to last. He's got Korok, the Borg Queen. This gives him 6 Captain skill, and the Queen bumps up to 2, so he'll get to fire before the orbital weapon platforms, because Michael Eddington, as I said, gives them the plus, or the 6 skill. And then he's got 4 of 12, where he can steal tokens and the Borg shield matrix, so it'll build up his defense die once he takes a few hits. Anyway, so we have 150 points to take down the orbital weapon platforms, 12 orbital weapon platforms, and try to take over the station. Now he doesn't have to lower his shields to beam over the station. He just beam drones over if he wants, and that's how we'll do it. Okay, so my ship's just moved forward and cloaked, very predictable for 2 Klingon birds of prey, and then his ship moved 3 forward. His plan, I think, is to come along the side and try to strip that some of the orbital weapon platforms. What did you want to say there, bud?
My friend Luke, I'm dedicating this video to my friend Luke.
Okay. So when Luke's going to watch it. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to win this one, because I'm looking at this now, and yeah, I'll be in range of the orbital weapon platforms very shortly, and we'll see how this goes here. Okay, so that turn I just moved forward 1. I thought it would put me in range, it did not. Then his ship moved over, bumped into mine. He fired at one of the orbital weapon platforms, took 4 shields off it, and but it returned fire, took 2 shields off him. But luckily for him, that actually kind of helped him because then he got his Borg Matrix token on, so now you can roll an extra evade dice. Anyway, that's where it's looking right now. Yeah, this is formidable. I don't know if we'll actually be able to beat this. We'll have to find out, and we'll see if we can beat this. Okay, so that was kind of a weird round. I bumped into the cube, or Martok bumped into the cube, so he didn't get within range to fire. And his cube, he decided to fire at that orbital weapon platform. He took all the shields off. That's what the thing means. And then my guy fired at that and took all the shields off. So there's 2 orbital weapon platforms with no shields. His cube only has 3 shields left. That's been hit for a lot. He lost 4 shields that turn. But he's got 2 of those Borg Matrix tokens on now. One of the platforms fired at Koloth, but I was able to avoid all the damage. So we fired at 2 and only took shields down. It fired back, and the Borg cube is down some shields. And I disabled that prototype cloaking device, so my ship didn't decloak when that happened. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if we're going to win this. This might have been a little bit too much, I think. But we'll find out. Okay, so this is how it's going. I'll flip over because he fired this turn. Okay, so Martok fired and finished off this orbital weapon platform. Then the cube fired and destroyed that orbital weapon platform. And then Koloth fired and took 3 shields off that weapon platform. Then these 2 orbital weapon platforms fired at Koloth. He didn't take any damage. He managed to avoid everything. And then that orbital weapon platform fired at the cube and took 1 more shield off it, but that gave it the extra shield matrix. So now he's got all 3 of his shield matrix, which gives him 3 defense dice. And yeah, that's how it's looking. So we'll see how this goes. This might have been a little bit too much, but we'll find out. Okay, so looking kind of grim here. The Borg tactical cube lost all its shields. It got fired on by 3 orbital weapon platforms. That orbital weapon platform has no shields and it's got a minor explosion on it. 2 weapon platforms fired at my bird of prey, and I've got 1 damage on the bird of prey, so it only has 2 hull left. So yeah, we're getting hit pretty hard here. My Shatang wasn't in range to fire, unfortunately. We haven't even hit the station yet. My goodness, and we're getting hit pretty hard here. Yeah, so the Borg cube's looking not too bad. It has no shields left. But my birds of prey are starting to take hits. I thought Koloth's protection would help a little bit, but he's still getting hit pretty hard. Anyway, we'll see how the next round goes here. Do you want to say anything, Katie?
Yes. First wave will be church, and the second wave will be the space station.
Yeah, let's just blow that sucker up, because it's pounding us. Anyway, because we do have troops. I've got 6 Klingon troops on this card and 6 Klingon troops on this card. And he's got all those Borg drones that we're going to beam over to the station, but we're getting pounded so hard, we just want to destroy the station now.
Kaboom! Kaboom!
Okay, so that turn, he moved back 1, my ships moved forward and did some sensor echoing. The cube destroyed one of the orbital weapon platforms, and then my 2 birds of prey fired on that other weapon platform that had low shields, but we weren't able to destroy it. 2 weapon platforms fired at Koloth's bird of prey, and he took another hit, so he's only got 1 health left. But I do have Buka, who I might have to use. And then another weapon platform fired at Martok Shatang, but didn't do any damage. So that's, in fact, yeah, I didn't even need the evade. I've been using that prototype cloaking device very well, actually, because it gives me 2 ships that can stay cloaked and re-roll their attack dice. For the prototype, I have to take that... what do you call it, stress token, or whatever it is, auxiliary power token, and disable the prototype cloaking device. But when I move forward one, the stress token is gone, and Koloth uses his action to remove the disabled token, and then Martok still gives Koloth another action. So it's actually working not too bad. I'm getting 2 ships with 2 actions because the Shatang is cloaking for free from the what do you call it? The Klingon flagship. Anyway, that's how it's looking right now. And the Klingon flagship also converts one of Koloth's blanks to a hit. I got to keep remembering that. I don't think I remember that yet this game. Anyway, that's how it's looking. Okay, the Borg bumped into the back of my ships. My ships moved forward 1 and sensor echoed. Used Buka to heal the 2 damage from Koloth, but Koloth got fired on by 2 other orbital weapon platforms, and he's got another damage on him. Another third orbital weapon platform fired at the Shatang, but didn't do any damage. All I managed to do was take the shields, 4 shields off of that orbital weapon platform. So that's all how it's looking right now. Anyway. My son wants to show you the Borg sphere watching us. Okay, I was getting pretty worried there, but that was a good round for us. The Borg cube is doing all the killing here. My 2 birds of prey stripped the shields off of that orbital weapon platforms, but then his cube finished off that orbital weapon platform. Only 1 orbital weapon platform was in range to fire back, and it fired at Koloth, and Koloth's ability to force the re-roll is really working well. Actually, it's looking not too bad. We've taken out quite a few orbital weapon platforms now, and yes, I was a little bit scared at first. Were you a little bit scared?
No.
I was getting a little bit worried, but yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that turn, Martok Shatang destroyed that orbital weapon platform. The Borg cube destroyed that orbital weapon platform, and my other bird of prey, Koloth's bird of prey, took 2 shields off that platform. We're not in range of the station yet, but it's getting pretty close. And yeah, actually, I think we're just going to destroy the station because.
Just blow it up.
Yeah, I agree with my son. He's saying just blow it up, because yeah, he's got no shields left, and I've got one of my birds of prey there has a damage on it. We can't take very much anyway. Anyway, the prototype cloaking device is actually working pretty well. It gets disabled every turn, so I have to re-enable it. But with Martok able to give an action, I can re-enable it and then still do stuff. Because it'll get 2 actions, so it's working out pretty well, but it's going to be close. Oh yeah, and that station my son is letting you know will be firing at us next turn most likely.